Hello and welcome back to another video, and I have spent 2 months without uploading a single video, and that is because I was afflicted with a burden, with a disease called employment. Yup, gentlemen, I had a job, and it was such a job that required to not be present and have zero time to record a video. I was still drawing, I just didn't record because I have no excuse, but I will manifest one straight up from my ass. Anyways, welcome back to another video, and today I have brought you a time-lapse video of me drawing Thepta from Made in Abyss, the princess of the Golden City, the city of the scorching sun from the 6th layer. But aside from that, Made in Abyss, one of the best animes I've ever watched. I heavily recommend people to watch it. Don't tell me it's weird. You're weird. If you find it weird, you're definitely weird. The anime is not weird. Well, it is kind of weird, not gonna lie. Especially the movie. Like, not gonna lie, man, the movie, sometimes I have to tank through some scenes, but I rewatched it like 4 times to 5 times from how badass it was. So I definitely heavily recommend watching this series because it has the best music, the best world building, and some of the weirdest, most interesting designs and storytelling. Well, not storytelling, just designs, the character design, weapons, equipment, monsters, environment. Aside from that, let's talk about art. In art, right now, I am in a weird phase. Well, not really weird, I just find it interestingly weird. Because if you are an artist and you spend like at least 2 years, doing art, especially digitally, because when you do it digitally, you have a lot of room to test things out, which in return makes you improve faster. And right now I am at a phase which I can practically be able to draw what I want, not from imagination, of course, basically just what I want. If I want to draw something, I can actually put it on the canvas. Whether it would be hard or not, I just have to find the best references for that drawing to bring out the vision. And the way I do that is through lasso tool and shapes, because line art just confuses the hell out of me. However, that is a little bit contradicting to what I'm drawing right now in the video, because as you can see, I'm using line art. Now let me tell you an interesting thing about line art. If you can draw with line art and it takes you like, not a lot of sketching phases to draw what you want, like what I'm doing here. I barely sketched anything. What you see right now in front of you is the final product. So it would look like I'm tracing, but I'm not. And the reason for that is I just know what I'm doing. Now let's define knowing what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing because I've played these games before. I've drawn these shapes before. Every shape you see on canvas, I have drawn it before. The shape of the fur, the shape of the hands, the shape of the claws, the shape of the ears, the shape of the eyes, the shape of the hair, shape of the crystals, whatever these things are, the shape of the arms. I've drawn them all before with lasso tool, with the G pen, with the pencil, with my imagination, with my eyes, with basically every organ in my body, every cell in my body knows how to draw these things. So that's why I don't need a sketch layer. I just need to draw it out and take my time with it. And the thing about line art is I just don't like how long it takes for me to do it, because you have to focus a lot on the line quality aspect of it. And I just, you know, it's too much work, man. I don't like working too much. I just want to draw. But I at the same time I just cannot bring myself to use a zero pressure sensitivity brush. I just like to have the control over the brush. And my best brush, G Pen, default, zero stabilization, because that's the way to do it. You gotta raw dog the art for you to be raw dogging. Okay, let's forget about that. Basically, I just like to have total control over what I'm doing, because the more I have control, the better I can bring out my vision onto the canvas. And that's why every time I try to do 3D in Blender, I just end up making an abomination, because what the hell is going on with that program? 10 years. I've used it for 10 years. Well, not consistently, but when I was 13 years old, that was way back then. When I was 13 years old, I had installed Windows 7 just to use Blender, and oh my god, man, I felt like a pilot on an airplane while trying to make a robot following a tutorial on Blender. And let me tell you, man, tutorials nowadays are doing you a favor, because back then I followed the tutorial step by step, and I look at the video, he has a robot. I look at my screen, I have Scooby-Doo and Mickey Mouse combined into one giant mecha. I probably messed up some steps and took some liberties in some aspects of the creation of that thing. However, that's how you do it. You gotta limit test. So going back to art phases, each in your art journey you will have phases. The first phase is you will be drawing whatever you want, and you won't be affected by people's opinions a lot. Or you will start by drawing or copying things you like from Pinterest, such as maybe AI images or like characters you like, or maybe like I'm not gonna lie, man, I've seen someone drawing their OC, only their OC, in many different forms and clothings and whatnot, and it creeps me the hell out, man. Let me tell you why. It's okay to do what he's doing, but the way he's doing it just creeps me out. It's like he knows how to do it again and again. It almost feels like I have a suspicion that he's tracing it from the last one, but I'd like to assume the best on this one, because it's his OC and he draws it a lot of times. It just creeps me the hell out how he consistently draws the same thing, but in a very uncreative way. Because for me, I value creativity above skill level. If you can draw very well and your art is just drawing things that you see and not being able to combine things or like draw something interesting, you know, the difference between you and AI is that AI doesn't get paid minimum wage. That's all I can say about it. So if your art skill is pupukaka and your creativity is unheard of, I have much respect to you, my friend, because you're able to bring out your imagination onto a canvas despite your lack of skills. And if you have the skill and the imagination, like, I cannot criticize you, for I am beneath you. But I'm starting to have the skills, the skill level. I'm at the art phase of me having the skill level to bring out what I want to bring out. So you're practically beneath me, or equal. Well, that is kind of weird to point out, but you get the point. So from the first art phase of drawing what you want, you go to the second art phase, learning. Oh, aren't we all in the second art phase? The second art phase is a trap because it never ends. You can go to the third and the fourth and the fifth, but the second is just, there in the corner. You start to be conscious about, oh yeah, I gotta learn this thing called anatomy. So you pull up YouTube, and to your horrifying surprise, not really horrifying, to your surprise, you're gonna realize that this shit might be deeper than you think. The human body is a little bit more complicated than an object. So you're gonna have to spend like a year or two figuring that thing out. And after that, the third phase comes. You'll be able to draw the human body pretty decently from memory, because assuming you did your homework properly, you'll have that memorized as a muscle memory. That's the thing with learning anatomy. It's not memory, it's not visual memory, it's muscle memory. Because no matter how many times you try to learn it, it just won't stick, will it? Will it? It just won't stick. It won't stick permanently. It won't stick like face to face unless you draw the one thing, one like pose only, or one perspective only. Because there's many types of perspective. Let me adjust my seat. There's many types of perspective, many types of you know what I mean. You're watching this because you do art. You know what I mean. And if you haven't done art before, I heavily suggest you to buy a tablet or buy a graphic tablet and, you know, get an art program and start doodling on that. Trust me, you'll thank me later, or you'll thank yourself later for listening to me. But aside from that point, after the third phase of being able to draw the human body decently, you know, you'll get bored of the human body. Assuming I'll not give you the benefit of the doubt and I'll assume you draw girls only because you're a freaky individual. Hopefully you get bored of it and you try to draw other things, such as objects, such as weapons, clothing, armor. Isn't armor just clothing? Well, you try to draw environments and whatnot, and then you realize that this shit is a little bit too deep than what you realized, just like the last time. And you'll also realize that I'm recording this audio at 3 a.m. in the morning, which is not a good idea because I have to lower my voice, or otherwise there's a creature that will appear in my room and slap the hell out of me. And everybody's familiar with the creature. It's called a mother. Yeah, anyways. I just can't be loud right now. I gotta record this shit in the morning. So in the fourth phase, you know, you start to branch out a little bit, and then the fifth phase, you're gonna realize what you like more, so you start to specialize. When I mean specialize, I'm not talking art industry specialize. No, you specialize as in you'll get comfortable with something. Could be environment, could be objects, could be people, could be character design, could be character concept, could be blah 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 blah, blah. You know what I'm talking about. And then comes a phase in your art where you're like, you know, I think I might be the GOAT. You know what I mean? And then you'll think you draw better than most people, so you act according to that, and then you realize that there are people who draw better than you in some aspects, but other aspects you draw better than them. And then you'll find mutual respect with those artists, given that you interact with them. You know, I would assume that you have the basic level of communication. Or maybe they're on social media and you're just lurking on Twitter. But hopefully you get to interact with artists, because interacting with artists is also one of the best ways to improve. I myself try to do that all the time, and I want to improve as fast as I can. So I get to stroke my ego as fast as I can. I want my ego to suffer from a massive stroke. If you know what I mean. Either that, or I just want to uh, be able to draw what I want without finding a little much difficulty, because as you can see from the time lapse, I'm able to draw a favorite character of mine without having much trouble, and I'm doing it while talking to other artists, which lessened the burden of the line art or the getting bored, because I stopped, had a little break from time to time, which is very important if you're doing a long art piece. And yeah, so phases of art, that's it. You start from nothing till you fill yourself up, and then you break yourself down, and then you rise back up. And I'm not really that far into the phases that I would know what comes after, but I think at some point it's just the same phase repeating itself over and over again. You will like want to draw something new, and you bring out references and you try to not copy them, but bring out elements you want from them. And the good news for me is I'm doing that right now. Every time I want to draw something, I just bring a reference to inspire myself, or take elements that I want, because when you want to draw some shoes and you look at the reference, what you're referencing is not the entire shoe, detail by detail, no, but the shape of it. Maybe you like some elements of it, like the design of the front or the back or the sole or the laces or the logo placement. You want to be, basically that's what we call inspiration, but that inspiration is like instant inspiration, just like the way you get instant noodles. Like you look at it, boom, instant inspiration. Sometimes you look at something, you get inspired to do a whole idea, which is what I'm good at, but I'm too lazy to realize the full idea into a drawing. Speaking of lazy, my art isn't really like the most detailed of art. I don't like detail. I heavily lean into concept, so my art would look a little bit unfinished, which is what I'm going to talk about in the next video. I'm going to talk about my art. And if you made it this far, the video won't end. Don't worry, keep watching or keep listening. One thing I realized about YouTube is that if for myself, of course, a personal experience of mine, I realized that if the video has a topic I like, no matter how much it's edited or how much it's you know what I mean, like edits. I don't need, if the topic, okay man, I'm losing my words, I don't know how to speak. If the video has a topic I like, for example, the video is talking about the latest chapter of a manga I enjoy, for example, Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. I like that series so much that I will be watching 5 videos discussing the same chapter, and they will be literally saying the same thing, which kind of makes me an expert on the manga. So it's a topic I really enjoy, even if I heard it before. If you are able to talk properly and actually like bring some value to the video, the viewer will watch it either way. It's like a too big to fail kind of thing. The concept is too big to fail. So for me, I would hope that you would enjoy the yapping session, the yappuccino I'm serving you, because I think I'm talking about some pretty good points that one individual might experience during their art journey. However, it's been such a long time that I'm failing to form my words, kind of choking on them. Pause. And also it's 3 a.m. and my internet just disconnected. Very, very great. Anyways, yeah, that's why I am not going to edit my videos in a way that would be like just like a Mr. Beast video, because they don't tell me about no formula, brother. YouTube is okay. Biggest YouTubers on YouTube. First of all, let me bring out one of them, Moist Critical. What does Moist Critical do? Actually, Asmongold and Moist Critical, one of the two biggest things on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, you will hear of those two. What do they do? What's their content? Is it like over the top editing? Is it MLG montage? Is it like Mr. Beast type of editing? Is it a TikTok edit? Well, if you're on TikTok, that's a different story. But all they do, bring up the camera, talk about a subject people are interested in, or maybe people are just interested into hearing what they say, because lately there's been a phenomena where white people can't form an opinion unless they watch a Most Critical video and just agree with whatever he's saying. So practically we can say that they're interested in the YouTuber, not the topic the YouTuber is talking about. And bringing that topic up, I've realized something. When artists, new artists especially, try to learn art, they don't try new things. They basically, hold on, let me see how much have I been yapping for. 21 minutes, not bad. When artists try to learn something new, they don't do what's it called? What do you call it? They don't test things themselves. They just like replicate what the tutorial tells them to do. Like if like most of YouTube is just like, oh yeah, do line art, do sketch phase, do line art phase, do this, do that, and it's to be honest, man, boring, so boring, same thing over and over again. If I do an art tutorial, I wouldn't teach you how to do it. I will give you the ways you can teach yourself to do it, and that is coming up soon. It could be the next one, it could be the one after. But I just hate that when you tell someone about a way to draw, they'd be like, oh, interesting, and then they forget about it. And then when Mr. Big Dick YouTuber swings his dick towards them, they'd be like, yo, have you seen this method? It works. It actually works. It's good. It's the same method you've been using without anybody telling you about it. I'm not bitching about it. I'm just like, don't wait for the Mr. Big Dick YouTuber to tell you how to think. Have some autonomy to yourself. Well, anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. In Parkour Civilization, you must fuck.
There is a scene in Parkour Civilization where he picks up a book and the written text on it is like written in parkour. Have you seen that?
Bro, I've watched the entire thing, by the way.
Me too, it's so good. He's like, I tried to read it, but it was written in parkour.